Time now for the Morning Rush.
We start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Still looking at the potential for some rain and snow showers up across southern Colorado and northern New Mexico today. Coverage intensity very limited. This is not going to be a blockbuster snowstorm for us, just the potential for maybe a couple of inches up in the mountains. By the later part of the afternoon, northern mountains, northeast plains, a few spot showers. This clears overnight into tomorrow. Cooler temperatures left behind Wednesday afternoon. David?
New news at 6. House GOP leaders are moving ahead with a plan to keep the government funded into March 23rd. House Republicans plan to vote today, 2 days before the federal government runs out of money. Now, the measure would give a full year of defense funding, but does not provide a fix for undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Now, the vote is expected tonight. We will let you know what happens.
On to some breaking news at 6. CNN is now reporting that former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon will not appear before the House Intelligence Committee today. That's despite him being subpoenaed. That's according to a source close to the process here. The source says Bannon is not planning on showing up because the White House and committee have not reached an agreement over the range of questioning. If Bannon does not comply with the subpoena, he could risk being held in contempt. We'll stay on top of this for you.
As you wake up, investors are keeping a close eye on Wall Street following Monday's volatile trading session. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged more than 1,100 points amid fears of rising inflation and potential interest rate hikes. In response, the White House issued a statement saying the economy's long-term fundamentals remain strong. And also this, a New Mexico judge is likely looking for a lawyer this morning after being slapped with DWI charges. State police in Tucumcari say they noticed a truck run a stop sign. Inside was 71-year-old municipal judge Joe Dominguez. The officer says he smelled alcohol in the car and that Dominguez failed a field sobriety test after blowing a .09. Now, the judge is out of jail this morning.
On to the news happening today. The street racer, found guilty of killing a 10-year-old during a crash on I-25, said to be sentenced today. Xavier Nelson was racing at more than 100 miles per hour when he rear-ended the family's van on I-25. 10-year-old Carmen Rivera was thrown from that vehicle. She later died. Nelson is facing up to 6 years in prison. We'll be there. We'll let you know what happens later on in court.
And we're still learning more about that deadly deputy shooting in Colorado Springs. This morning, one deputy is dead, 2 others recovering. Police say they were investigating a car theft when El Paso County Deputy Micah Flick had been shot and killed, and 2 other deputies were wounded. The police say the suspect was also killed. This story is still developing. We will let you know when we find out more.
On to new details now. State Democrat wants to raise the minimum wage. He thinks Republicans will get on board with this idea. Senator George Munoz is asking to raise the state minimum wage to $9 an hour. The last time the state's minimum wage went up was under Governor Bill Richardson. That was in 2009 to $7.50 an hour. Senator Munoz says it's not a big jump, and Republicans could back this. The governor is still against it this morning.
A Republican lawmaker wants to change the law when it comes to serious juvenile offenders. Right now, juveniles who commit violent crimes like murder are automatically released from a juvenile detention facility at the age of 21. Under Senator Greg Baca's bill, the judge would have the option to reevaluate the case and order more treatment if necessary. Prison would be an option if rehabilitation doesn't work.
As you wake up this morning, it's now up to the president to release the Democratic response to the so-called Nunes memo. This after a passing vote by the House Intelligence Committee. The move came just days after the committee released an outline of what Republicans call abuses by the FBI in the early days of the Russia investigation. Still no word on if the president will release it or block it.
Also new this morning, one of the women accusing President Donald Trump of inappropriate behavior is running for office. 35-year-old Rachel Crooks is running for the Ohio State Legislature. Crooks claims Trump kissed her on the mouth without her consent in 2005 when she was a receptionist. She says she wants to be a voice for Americans upset with politics. President Trump has denied the allegations.
This morning, Larry Nassar, the former U.S. gymnastic and Michigan State University doctor, begins his life sentence in prison. This after being sentenced for the 3rd time yesterday. A judge gave Nassar 40 to 125 years in prison for molesting 3 girls while working with a gymnastic club. This morning, multiple investigations still underway within Michigan State University and at the U.S. Olympic Committee. This over allegations of a possible cover-up.
Breaking overnight, South Korea has deployed 900 military personnel after 1,200 security guards were taking off duty because of a norovirus outbreak at Winter Olympic facilities. Now, the outbreak comes just days before the opening of the South Korea Winter Olympics. 41 guards have shown symptoms, but the others are off duty to keep it from spreading. The U.S. has yet to respond on the outbreak. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 4. We've got some cold temperatures out there now, but really it's the winds that are feeling that threat index up to a 4 because we're talking west winds 15 to 25, but wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour today. Temperatures nothing to worry about as we get back to those 60s. Sarah?
Sandoval County Search and Rescue Team is now training their first ever search and rescue dogs. 3,700 acres make up Sandoval County, which makes it difficult to find a missing person. That's why German Shepherd KT and Dutch Shepherd Quattro and their handlers Shannon and David Farrell recently joined the Rio Grande Basin Heavy Technical Rescue Team. Officials are hoping this will increase the chance of finding people quicker and easier. How they're hoping the community will help the dogs coming up in the 5 facts. Crystal?
New facts at 6 for you. New recommendations from a federal advisory committee call for adults 50 years and older to get the new shingles vaccine called Shingrix. The vaccine was approved in 2017. Adults who received the old vaccine should still get the new one, according to officials. Shingles is a painful rash.
Interesting new facts this morning. New evidence from showing that noise from planes, trains, and automobiles may increase the risk of heart disease. A new report in the Journal of American College of Cardiology says traffic-related noise can induce a stress response, which increases hormone levels, and that can lead to the development of hypertension and diabetes.
Time now for a check on traffic. Not seeing anything major, just some minor slowdowns. I-40 eastbound as you approach the Atrisco exit. But everything else looks good across the city. We will keep close tabs on that. Let you know if we hear of anything.
And happening this week, millions of fans are expected to be on hand for the Philadelphia Eagles Victory Parade. Now, the team won their first Super Bowl championship Sunday after defeating the New England Patriots 41-33. The Victory Parade is set for Thursday.
Okay, here's a pretty awesome story. French fries may not be good for your waistline, but your hairline, apparently it's a different story. Japanese scientists say it's part of their new treatment for hair loss. According to an article in the Journal of Biomaterials, scientists were able to regrow hair in mice using the same type of silicone that's used by some fast food restaurants. FYI, the silicone is often added to French fries to prevent frothing. Get this, preliminary research suggests the same method will be just as successful when it's used on people. So maybe if you're thinning out a bit, stop by McDonald's, get some French fries this morning.
Those look great right now, no matter what.
How crazy
I
is
don't
that?
even want to know what frothy fries look like.
There's the
like,
froth.
what in the world?
All I know is that if you want some hair regrowth, this may be a good option for you.
It's tasty.
You just like rub it on your head, or you have to consume it?
I don't know, with as many fries as I like.
All right, time for the 5 facts.
All right, we start with number 5 here. Sandoval County Search and Rescue Team. They're now training their first ever search and rescue dogs. These 2 pooches, KT and Quattro, make up the first team. Deputy Fire Chief says having them on the team is in such tough terrain can really help save lives. Shannon and Dave Farrell recently joined the rescue team. They funded both dogs out of pocket, training and certifications. That's why they've created a GoFundMe page in hopes of receiving support from the community. Go to our website, KRQE.com, for details on how you can help out.
And at number 4, at a time when just about everyone is calling out sick, some teachers are still concerned they'll be punished for sick days when it comes to their evaluation, despite the Public Education Department saying otherwise. Now, the department released a memo saying any teacher who gets the flu can provide a doctor's note, and it won't count against their evaluations. But the Albuquerque Teachers Union says teachers who use more than 6 sick days still get a mark on their record.
And number 3, breezy to windy conditions today with rain and snow showers up near the northern state line. Temps slightly cooler this afternoon, a more noticeable difference in those temperatures tomorrow.
At number 2 this morning, a couple arrested in New Mexico is awaiting extradition to Oklahoma for a murder investigation from something that happened more than a decade ago. Joe Calver and his girlfriend Shanna Ramsey are charged for the death of Latricia Phipps. Phipps went missing about 15 years ago. Detectives say she was last seen with Calvert, her ex-boyfriend, and Ramsey. Just days ago, police arrested the couple near San Ysidro. Detectives are still looking for the body.
Number 1, now this morning, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office finds itself in the crosshairs of another lawsuit over a deadly deputy-involved shooting. Here's what deputies say happened that night. After a pit maneuver, deputies fired off 7 shots, killing the driver, Isaac Padilla, along with his passenger, Martin Jim. Padilla's family is now suing the Sheriff's Office and the county. In that suit, they claim use of excessive force. It also targets the department for not using body cameras, something the sheriff has been criticized about before.